Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to, well, something I haven't actually casted before. We've got the BetsNet Challenger Series EU. I'm going to be kicking it off with NOREG versus aTTaX. I say kicking it off. There's actually only one match, at least for now. There'll be some coming up a little bit later on, which hopefully will tickle your fancy when it comes to CS. But actually, I think I'm doing Hellcase. Someone else will be here doing this. I'll be off doing some Hellcase, so you can join me over on the #1 Star Ladder channel, because, you know, I wouldn't be #2. Right? Wow, that sounds obnoxious. Either way, we got NOREG versus aTTaX. NOREG, a team that have changed quite a bit since I previously saw them. I remember this roster with sort of like the Rubino. I think it was, we had Jacob in there as well. I think even at one point, Rain had a little bit of a time in this team. So it's sort of like, it's definitely not the team we saw before. But I'm always happy to see a little bit of Norwegian Counter-Strike. They have come up with a fair few stars across the years, and the only way you're going to find them is by having them play in some of these sort of like lower tier tournaments and try their best to get through these qualifiers. aTTaX, watched them yesterday, had some very close games but managed to win every single one of them, so looking forward to seeing what they can do today. Was very impressed with Searson as well, so I'm expecting quite a bit from him. But either way, we are into what I think is our knife round, especially considering Nafu has decided to play this round with only a knife, so sides will be decided. I do have to say, on a map like Mirage, it's not really the biggest deal in the world. I don't think either of these teams will worry too much whether they start CT or T. aTTaX win the knife, and they are going to decide to go for the CT side. Again, it's just, I feel like it's more preference on Mirage these days. I'm not really looking at it and going, you know what, if you don't get the knife win, it's over. Just give up while you can. Like it's not any sort of situation like that. And in fact, a fair few teams actually win on the T side. We actually witnessed it yesterday between Namiga and Good Job. 11-4 half, both on the T side. So it definitely can come about that the T side is enough. But either way, into our pistol round. Fair few smokes, a fair few flashbangs going to be up for NOREG. On the other side, actually a decent amount of utility as well. We've got the counter Ekfan, obviously coming with the smoke is the most common of the two decisions. And then on the other side of things, you have Hunden, who's actually just gone for a fair bit of utility. No surprise to see that HE getting set up towards those apps. Other than that, well, it's just going to be a straight push towards this A site. Going to try and get that bomb down as quickly as possible, hence the Palace push. And now all that utility is going to be expended. I expect them to try and just swarm towards that CT spot, get rid of Ekfan, and then take control of it. The Keto has not been spotted, and he'll get 2 quick kills. Now the CT side don't actually really need to push in here. They can just play for a retake, but they don't want to allow that bomb plant to go down. They want to make things horrific for NOREG in their first round of this map, and that's exactly what they will do. And well, I have to say, a lot of that comes down to just not checking your angles. Keto handed a quick couple of kills, and I think that sort of forced the CTs into a little bit of trouble in terms of them having to quickly turn around. Either way, they are going to be looking into our second round. Forced by will be in Marcelicious or Marcelius. Marcelicious sounds better, but there isn't an extra S. Marcelius is going to be just going for the Deagle, likely to save up for an AWP, or could just buy an extra Deagle into the next round, though he's got plenty of extra money, as he was the only one to get any kills in the last round. And other than that, the rest of the team are going to fully force here. Hunden, lots of players coming his way. They won't check the Barb. He'll only get 1, though. Expected a little bit more there from the in-game leader of aTTaX. Rifle, or sorry, SMG has been retrieved by the CT side, or by the T side. Not the best weapon in the world, but could do some damage. Ekfan very close to spotting someone around that smoke. Searson, of course, going to be looking to try and make as much money as he can to get ready for that AWP. As of yet, the round has come to a bit of a halt. Nice boost will net Nafu a kill. Searson not going to be making any money in this round. And Ekfan looking for a trade. That's the bomb down in middle. Definitely not where they want it to be. You can see the remaining positions of the Ts as they do look to go towards this B site. But the bomb now going to have to try and rotate back through. It's going to be quite far behind. And Stefan may have shut down the push by the time they actually get anywhere near it. Marcelius needs to do some work here. Does some damage with the Deagle. But remember, he doesn't have any armor. Nafu's here with him. They've still got this little bit of a crossfire in, and Stefan's still yet to be dealt with. Will drop one. Remaining player only got 4 HP, and he's been spotted. Easy cleanup in the end. 3 rifles kept as well. No bomb plant, of course, in the previous round. I mean, it has to be an eco here for NOREG. Just keep the money, make sure they can build something into the next round, and other than that, it is just going to be a waiting game. And that's it. Yeah. Waiting game for the CT side, or T side. Wow, I mucked that up about 3 times today already. Have that extra money saved. Searson, this is where he does look to farm up the cash. $600 already into the bank. And with another. Of course, not making anywhere near as much money as his teammate. Hunden looking to go hunting. Will be met by 2 players. Actually loses his life. It hasn't been the best of starts for Hunden. However, Searson with the SMG makes the money, retrieves the rifle, and all that will be lost is that MP9. And I imagine Searson will just come straight in with the AWP. They've given him that chance to do it. Are you going to do it, my friend? There we go. There we go. This is what I've been looking forward to. Hadn't seen much of alternate attacks until yesterday, but this guy definitely impressed me. And I'm liking his glove and knife combo. That is a beautiful little combo that he's got going on there. That is style. Listen, you've got style not only in your AWPing, but also in your combination of gloves and knife. And actually, he's going to miss the first shot. I expected him to get that. Ekpan will be there, but it's a fairly simple trade for the T side. Got an AWP of their own, as said. Marcelius saving money for this. Now the T's have just slowed right down. They've got that early pick. 4v4 normally benefits the T side. Now the one advantage that the CTs will have is obviously they've been building up cash, and there is the aggressive peek out from Searson. Gives the man advantage back, Croman. I think he was in actually the previous iteration of this team, along with Zevez as well. I think it was alongside, what was it, Rubino, Jacob. I can't remember who the last member of the team was. I don't think it was Rain. It was meant to be Rain, but he decided to back out at the last minute from WSG. Either way, all 3 players currently waiting towards the back of that B apps. Maybe expecting a little bit more aggression, but it's not going to be given. I don't think it was Fox. It was an international. It was a national team. Sorry. Either way, Marcelius. Pushing actually works fairly well. I thought Stefan may have got a little bit more than that, and it will be back into a 2 versus 2. Molotov in. Searson almost handed the chance, but both players still alive. A little bit of utility for the CTs. Both have kits, so the time is not going to be ticking as fast as it would be. Dual peek out from the T side, though, is nice. Leaves it on to just one, but that one man is Searson. Going to throw in the pot flash. AWP battle to try and finish things off. Marcelius actually holding quite a passive angle. We'll hear him jumping through the window, waiting with that AWP. Both players missing, and well, was Marcelius the 5th? In the original, in the team that played at WSG? I feel like I would have remembered him. I'm almost tempted to have a look. Have a gander while we have this. Actually, it's a full buy. But still. NOREG. Salt. Base soldiers was when they last played. No. Oh yeah, Radifaction as well. That's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. But Marcelius was in there as well. Oh, hello, Zevez. And goodbye, Hunden. Ekpan will be able to get the trade. Doesn't manage much more than that. Yeah, that was it. Jacob got changed out for... That team made quite a lot of changes, didn't it? I can't remember. Something happened with Jacob, didn't it? Where he couldn't play. Which is a shame. Because I think that could have added another dynamic to this team. Of course, Jacob right now standing in for Renegades, so... That'll be interesting. Not... Yeah, and the rumours were that HS were going to go, but he didn't in the end. Go away. Aggression coming out from Quito. Looking to try and find some sort of pick. Both teams with not a huge amount of utility. Marcelius again will be waiting though. He seems to have the number of any aggression that just comes out on this side. Ekfan going to be caught in the corner, and Croman already turns things into a very difficult position for the CT side. May spot out one, but actually Zevez just with that UMP, a second headshot. No head armor. And this leaves Searson all alone. Has that AWP. But I think he's about to run straight into the hands of Zevez and doesn't check the murder hole. Will be murdered for it. Zevez tries to show off some tricks. Won't work. Yeah, I know. I was just saying it was a shame that Jacob wasn't able to play in that team. 3-2. This time, the CT side will have to save their money. The T's just going to go back to a fairly standard A hit. Marcelius looking for the opening pick. Now, has to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to hand this AWP over. 3 players currently here. Kito's going to go pushing. Marcelius does find the kill, but he's quickly traded. However, the T's going to have no problems as Croman quickly end the lives of 2. Hunden stuck behind the smoke. Only has a P250 anywhere. This is nigh on a complete save. Stefan's trying to be a little bit sneaky, but it's not going to happen. Scoreline equalized. T-side have made themselves a decent amount of cash in the last few rounds as well. It will only be the singular rebuy. Of course, the AWP was picked up, so not going to be as expensive as it could have been. But it's just a shame we couldn't see like a full, like all the best Norwegian players in there. Because if you had like Rain, Jacob, Rubino into a team, that team could be beast. Akes will find the opener, but it's Hunden very quickly able to trade. It's limited a little bit in terms of the fight. How does Zevez win that fight? Through the smoke, you have to think that the advantage would go the way of Hunden. On the other side of the map, we've seen a kill come in, and this will actually hand the man advantage over, and Stefan's done work on the B side. He's left it all onto Marcelius, whose position is known. Searson has heard everything. A nice, easy kill from him, and should be able to retrieve the AWP as well. Alternate attacks bounce back, but as said, plenty of money for the T side to buy back in. Won't be a problem there. Oh, spicy. I love that jump. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I love watching the aggressive AWPing peaks of Searson. Second on the board for his team at the moment. It's actually been Stefan leading the way. The T's have slowed right down. Patient play from them. However, thus far, no real aggression coming in. Stefan is the furthest forward. We've seen a push into ramp, but there's nobody on this side of the map for the T's anyway. If Quito pushes any further, then things could become a little bit worrying for NOREG, as they will not have any clues. However, in the meantime, the CTs have actually left themselves a little bit of a hole as the window position will be taken. Stefan starts things off. This position could be pretty valuable for the T's. Chance to make some space. This is where the push finally comes in from the CT side, so they now have all the info that there's nobody over towards A. Okay, Palace possibly, but it's likely to be a B hit. The question is, do they have any idea there's nobody, or that there is somebody flanking him from behind? That's the real problem that they have. It's all just going to come down to timing here. The CTs are fast enough, they could be in behind themselves. Either way, Croman, he's picked up that AWP from Marcelius. Hunden is the only one on the B side, and he is completely surrounded. He's got players pushing in on Zevez. Surely Zevez, this should be a nice, easy kill for him. Is he going to go for the... Oh, I thought he was going to go for the knife for a minute, but that's the opener. It will just make things so much more difficult. Searson hoping he can find a quick pick. The flank is fast, but Nafu is aware. Another player dropped as well, and Searson has no choice but to save. That flank from Zevez just made things so much easier. He doesn't get all of the kills, that's fine. But he gets the crucial one. He gets rid of Hunden. That's the time buyer. That's the man who's supposed to burn down the clock and allow for rotations. Instead, that flank through window means that that is not going to be happening. 4-4, a straight break back from NOREG. And now, while there's problems on the side of alternate aTTaX, the money isn't going to be there this round. Searson could realistically drop one. But at the same time, do they really want to go for something here? I think they probably will. Let's see. What is the decision of Hunden? Full save here would be interesting, because they're only going to have $1,900. Then, yeah. I didn't think that would be the case. Rifle dropped. Maybe into the hands of Stefan? Who's picking that up? It's actually going to be Ekfan. Right? Or Keto. They're the only two with USPs. Ekfan has enough that he can buy a pistol. And so, by the looks of things, Keto's going to be the one with the rifle. So, it will be split. Keto hasn't had the best game so far. I would have probably given it to Stefan and just tried to hold down onto that B site. He's, of course, looking to try and switch things up themselves a little bit. Go for a faster play. Set up over towards this A site. Try and find boat opener here. Now, they are going to be pushing into one of the rifles. The other attempting to take some aggression. And it seems like the aggression of this CT side is always wrong so far. They haven't found anybody over towards this B side of the map, and that should tell them it's very quickly going to be a push towards A. Hunden running as fast as his little legs can carry him, but it's going to be onto Keto to try and slow down this push. He knows Chroman's coming, and the timing absolutely ruined. That is so unlucky. He was watching that angle for a good few seconds. Stefan's found one. Searson with the AWP still here. He needs to pull off something impressive. Made into the corner. Not going to do a huge amount of damage, and now it is all onto Searson. Once again, just going to back away and try and hold on to that AWP. You have to feel bad for Keto in that situation. Because we've all been there. Holding that angle. Waiting, look away, get shot in the head. Like, it's just the most frustrating thing in Counter-Strike. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Searson will keep this up. Next round is going to have to be a save for alternate aTTaX, but at least after that they will be receiving $2,400 and should have a reasonable buy. Of course, you can even see Searson has a little bit of extra cash. I imagine he'll just save that so he can afford another AWP just in case he loses it in the next round. Doesn't have any upgraded pistol that he can drop either. So likelihood is it will just be USPs, maybe an odd P250 thrown in. I don't expect to see anything more than that. And in fact, it is just going to be a full eco. Absolutely nothing bought here. Nectar and window. Maybe the early smokes. He play into mid once again from Searson. And fairly heavy mid presence, in fact, from the CT side. So much so, there is no one on B. Absolutely no one. Hunden will start making his way back towards the site. His footsteps have been heard, and now he will hear all the footsteps of his opponents as well, as they will look to barrel their way in towards B. The question is, can any damage be done? Searson's the only one with a weapon. Does pick up a first, but now again, it's going to be 3 rounds in a row where Searson doesn't have much of a choice. Just hold on to the gun. Can't really afford to lose it. He will be able to buy another one if he does, but it will reduce the amount of utility. And you never know, they may even want to bring in a second into the next round. Keto. We'll just be trying to sort of hold them in onto the site. Picks up an AK for a second. I think he actually takes someone down with him. 2 players die. That's not bad at all. He's made things very, very costly. Just by a little bit of aggression in towards the site, he baits them into staying a bit too long. And That really isn't bad. Pretty sure those, I think that bet thing is the wrong way around. Is there a way that I can change that? Do that. That change? No. Either way. CT side now have themselves a bypass. Hunden goes aTTaX, and well, so just cleaning up again. It's this dark position that they don't seem to be checking properly. A couple of kills come back, and nice shot from Marcelius. But it will be left onto Zevez. 1 versus 2. Spots out Searson, who just goes walking in, leaves it all onto 1. Gonna be aTTaX sat in the corner. Already getting himself 3 kills this round. Zevez on 2, looking to try and equal him. He's looking to try and reposition. 30 seconds left on the clock. Has to be careful because his opponent is now pushing back in. Taking the bomb. 20 seconds left. Doesn't have much of a choice and has no idea where his opponent currently is. Or actually, he's going to go back in towards B. I think he just about has enough time to do this as well. Smart stuff from Zevez. He's going to change the way that this round is going just by completely changing where the bomb's going to be planted. Doesn't have much time, so we'll go for the close plant. Probably could have gone for short instead, but he knows. He now knows. He spots out aTTaX. This turns quickly into an advantageous position from Zevez. aTTaX going to be looking to round the corner. He may be overthinking this a little bit. Doesn't know where his opponent is, but Zevez will win it. Clutches things out 1 versus 2. It will be 6 and 4 in favor of NOREG. And a nice round coming out from the T side. Quickly just do this. We've switched the betting odds to the other side because it was the wrong way around. Tactical pause called out from the T's, interestingly. Nobody saw the odds change, by the way. Nobody saw that. CT side actually going to take a bit more of an eco in this round. They have the max loss bonus anyway. Zevez, that is an interesting position of unpause, or spelling, I should say. Unpause. The T side now winning themselves 4 rounds in a row and 7 of the last 8. Looking pretty bleak for alternate attacks. Question is, can they turn the tide? Push into middle. Very aggressive indeed. Only pistols. Try and stop them, and so far the pistols have been doing absolutely nothing. Only Stefan left. 7 HP. Marcelius is going to be looking to get that bomb down and use the time to their advantage as well. Can Stefan take anybody else? Zevez keeps 4 players alive. Money will start to build again for NOREG. But now we have the big buy. Double AWP setup is available to them if they want it, but they do not. Only Searson picking one up. But they can get themselves a huge amount of utility, which is something at least. Side. Gathered in Palace at the moment. aTTaX going to be in his classic under Balk position. He opts to change it for once. And the Balk spot has been pretty good for him so far. Once again, they've been playing this slow style and it has been catching out alternate attacks, these late pushes onto the site once all the utility is expended. However, at least so far in this round, CT side have held on to quite a lot of their utility. Maybe starting to get a read on the fact that they're playing this slower style. Searson this time towards the back of site finds the opener. Of course, 8-4. Alternate aTTaX don't really want to let it go too much further than this. As said in yesterday, the lower echelons of Counter-Strike, you can see a much more T-sided Mirage. Here we go again. Searson, second kill for him in this round. Be a little bit of a play towards short and towards the connector. The bomb is in Palace, so we can pretty much guesstimate that they are going to be looking to try and push towards A. Not a lot of time to even force any sort of rotation, and so far, they haven't managed to do any damage to this CT side. 25 seconds left on the clock, and this time, it seems like the slower play has not worked at all. Searson finds the bomb, and now Nafu will fall as well. Great round from Searson at the back of the A site. 4 kills for him, stepping up with the AWP. But NOREG is still going to be comfortably able to buy. I think they have potential to be a top 15 team in the world. I don't know, actually. It's kind of difficult because the sort of... Once you go out of the top 10, it really only takes, like, maybe a tournament or two. But the problem I find, I don't have much data. This is the only match I've seen from this roster. So for me to say, yeah, I think they could do it. Like, realistically, if any team steps up their game, I just wonder if they have the individual talent to actually make it that far. I think top 30 for sure. Just need to qualify for something. Because getting a lab result can be massive. Boost into window will also be massive. Hunden goes down early. That has been one of the problems, I feel, of the CT side secondary setup. It doesn't involve too much mid control. And when they remove that mid control completely, the boost into window is just so effective. And NOREG seem to be realizing that this is a problem. And now look at their B site defense. They have no information. They don't know how far they've pushed. Last time this happened, we saw a flank. Searson is here alone. He has spotted one. Again, going to be getting past the angle. He's just going to take a wider peek. Actually, they've gambled the wrong way. Searson spotting one player has pulled every single player away from this site. Quito is the closest to the action, and he's in jungle. And 4 players are now going to be looking to push towards A. This is a great rotation coming out from NOREG. They have played their opponents perfectly. Nothing being spotted in mid. Stefan is now going to go for that rotation. Searson finding that pick will actually cause Stefan to completely rotate away, but that's just a fake. It's all left on Quito. He doesn't even know it yet, as the bomb will be planted over towards that connector spot. Peeks out, has a chance to deny the bomb, but not quite in time. And now it is just going to have to be a retake for the CT side. 1 kill will come in, but CT control is still kept. aTTaX actually going to be throwing in the flashbang, but doesn't quite catch anyone. However, Marsilius will. They need a quick kill for sure. There it is. Searson, again with his AWP, looking to try and step up. The boost from Ekfam works out, and it's all left onto Croman. They're going to go for the defusal, and actually it's on the other side of the box. His spray through does a lot of damage, but it won't matter. Searson wins them another round. Croman will look to try and remove this AWP, and just doesn't quite manage it. And I actually thought they planted that far more open. They really relied on that CT spot. I assumed they were going for more of a connector plant, just based on the map, but I was wrong. They went for a CT plant. They lose CT. And Searson will find the picks. 6-8. A chance to make this as close as humanly possible with an 8-7 half. Searson's going aggressive again. Looking to try and take more of a fight into middle. He's, in the meantime, mostly gathered on B. Or towards B. There's a second AWP. It's in the hands of Stefan. Gonna look for that opening pick. Should soon be spotting a player as they do look to just pop flash him out, but he avoids it. Finds the opener. Now calls in the reinforcements from the CT side. Wants to at least take a second, and he will. And has support from Searson as well. Okay, he falls, but it's left all onto Zevez. 1 versus 3. Let's manage the first. Spots out Hunden as well, who takes a fairly aggressive peek. Although he wins the battle, that's so risky. If he goes down, Quito is not close enough to trade. However, it will be 7-8. A decent recovery from alternate aTTaX, and I do still think they could pull this off on the T side. From what I know, Tizian is... I think it's just Keto standing in. I haven't been told why. Prize pool... So this is basically a qualifier. So there's going to be a $100,000 event in Kiev at the Cybersport Arena. Teams will qualify, and then there'll be a few invited teams as well. And yeah, there'll be $100,000 on offer. So a fairly big deal for any of these teams that can make it through. In terms of how people are doing, this is actually the first map I've casted for bets.net, so I don't actually know. I could have a look after the map and just have a brief little rundown of how teams are doing. From what I know so far, I think if you win 3, you're through. If you lose 3, you're out. So it's fairly important to make sure you get off to a decent start. Either way, we're into our pistol round. Smoke's going out towards the A site. There are 4 players here for the CT side. They have got the read on alternate attacks. The question is, can they win those individual duels? So far, it's not going so good, but they don't expect another player in dark. However, eventually it will be removed, leaving it into a 3 versus 2. Make it a 2 versus 2, as we do see the removal of Nafu over towards that CT spot, and it's going to get a bit spicy. Alternate attacks is going to try and rotate themselves back to B. Zevez will spot them. Ekfan going to try and hold them from actually getting through the murder hole. Somehow Croman is a bit sneaky and gets through, but this is a 2-1 match. I'm going to take your word for it, Marius. I'm going to take your word for it. Either way. Zevez. 1 versus 2. Both players over towards the market, and Ekfan will net his 3rd kill of the round. I like that. I like the mid-round call to actually switch towards B after finding that kill in CT. Another pistol will be going the way of alternate attacks. I have the document open. I do have the document open. So we are in... Yeah, you are correct. This is a 2-1, so anybody who wins this goes through. There's $10,000 in... Yeah, there is a small prize pool as well for the online bit. Pistols, not going so well, but Nafu will at least end the life of Searson. And the remaining players all had rifles, so now is where alternate attacks. They don't want to lose anybody else. Hello, Brevis. How's it going? T-side. Gonna make their way towards short. He's actually pushing forward a little bit. He's gonna spot one, but quickly loses his life to Keto. And now things should be easy pickings for alternate attacks. The remaining 2 players nowhere near the action. The closest will be Nafu with the Deeg. And shouldn't be much hope for him here. Even still, dropping a rifle could be a little bit of a bonus. The one way you make money in these sort of rounds, if you do go with all the rifles, is to just keep everybody alive. You don't have that SMG farming up cash. Most potential on alternate attacks, I think it has to be Searson. Like, genuinely, if Searson was picked up to big, I wouldn't be surprised. I think, especially now that Kiev has been put on the bench, I think that he could be a decent replacement, especially considering they want to keep the team German. Well, that's something they've mentioned at least, and not turn it into an international team. I think they could. But if they want to keep it German, I think that he's one of the obvious choices to join this. In terms of casting, I would just say, like, early days, you're going to have to cast stuff for free. Even if you just cast, like, normal matchmaking matches and just send it to someone and say, hey, can you give me some tips, and see what they say. I don't know how much you've done casting before, so if you've done a fair bit, then this may sound quite patronizing. In terms of getting matches like this, the reason I'm doing this is because I work for StarLadder. So that's the reason I have these sort of matches. But a lot of the time, you just want to sort of talk to companies, just email them saying, look, if you ever need anybody, and eventually somebody will give you a break. Obviously, you have to have been casting stuff for a little while. Like, you can't just go jumping straight into it. Like, you may need to do some, like, free stuff. But, yeah, other than that, just grind it. You've just got to practice a lot. And I'm sure there are plenty of casters out there who will give you advice. Like, for me at the time, I don't know how much he'll do it now, so I don't want to throw him under the bus, but for me, someone who's helped me quite a lot is actually James Bardoff. A couple of times, he's given me, like, a VOD review. He's gone through it. Well, there's only one caster who's full-time employed by StarLadder for English casting, and that is me. So, me telling you how to get that will be quite difficult because no one else has managed to do that. But, in terms of working for StarLadder, you basically just have, like, I would say you're gonna have to do some other stuff first. But, eventually, like, there's always gonna be breaks. Like, a lot of people have been casting this. Either way, aggressive push-up mid from Croman. Marcelius. We'll find another one, but it's gonna be a quick push from the remaining T's on towards this site. Now, it is a little bit of a bonus round. They should be able to buy in the next anyway, but it's a nice cleanup nonetheless. Left onto Stefan. Croman will shut this down. Flawless round from the CT side. That's a great start. Yeah, I owe a lot to... Like, James Bardoff is a lovely guy. Very blunt. He is very blunt. But he is a very, very nice guy. And I appreciate all the stuff that he has, like, done, like, going through my VODs. And he is just brutal. He'll just be like, that is rubbish. Do you think he'll become a tier 1 customer? I don't know. I don't know. It's down to companies. And me grinding it. Searson has just caught almost 2. He does get the second eventually. There's a third player in the connector, but this man with the AWP has just been so deadly. 20 and 10 at the moment, top of the board. Third kill for Searson now. Only Zevez left. Now, they do make it a bit of extra money by keeping everybody alive in the previous round, so they may force it. They are around that 3-round marker. However, 100 now going to close it. 11 to 9. Yeah, I think the CTs will probably go for this. Be surprised to see anything otherwise. Bardoff is the man. Yeah, he is. He is not great at playing CS. I've played CS with him a few times, and he gets very annoyed at me because he likes to have he'll have a default where he's like telling you exactly where to go, and then I'll run straight into B, and I'll hear down the mic, "Tom, that's not a default. What are you doing?" Just getting like. I do enjoy triggering James. It's a very fun game. CT side, they have forced the issue. There's. We'll be pushing down into that underpass spot. Ekfan finds one back quickly. You from the UK? Yes. From the UK. Who has to be careful. He's got players just above him. So, it's going to be there. A little bit of a push actually coming in from short. I think they've got the wrong read here on the CT side. This is all going to be left on to Nafu, and he's actually going to back out of the site, just looking for maybe more of a retake here with the rest of his team. The bomb will be going down. Actually, the CT side are just going to opt to save. They'll hold on to the rifles that they have, realizing that a retake in this scenario could actually do more harm than good. Because of that, they are just going to opt to save. This is a decent chance for the T's, not only to make some money, but go on the hunt. Ekfan, he's looking for them ducks. What do I think of Epsilon? They've looked really good so far. I've noticed your name has got Smooyer in it as well, so I'm guessing you don't want me to say anything bad about Epsilon. I'll be interested to see how they do on like a LAN event. I think they've got a lot of talented individuals. It's just, I want to see what happens in more like stressful situations where they could get tilted or things could go wrong. What will happen if they like lose a map? How are they going to be at coming back? Those are the sort of things I'm looking for from Epsilon, because individually they're sound. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But it's whether or not that they have the same sort of drive to like come back from difficult situations, and on LAN will it be the same? If it is, then great. I would love to see the Smoothie succeed. 12-9. Another 4-spy situation for the CT. Sisson already tagged fairly low. We're pushing towards him, looking to try and remove that AWP from play. Instead, they catch Keto. Actually, Sisson just round the corner will fall as well. This aggression working absolutely perfectly. But now they switch things up. Up close will be Zevez. Only really needs one. He's got the pistol. He will fall eventually, but Marsilius is still in this corner. I don't think he's going to be checked. A nice, easy frag from him. Ekfan, the only one remaining. Will be the bounce back from NOREG. Saving worked wonders, but now they've got to face off against the full wrath of the T's once more, who still have plenty of cash. CT side, aggression once again. This seems to be the way that they win these rounds. Just take fights early, and they've caught Searson off guard. He's not the man you want to be losing. Still top of the board for alternate attacks, and you can just see the CT side instantly just going to fall back into more passive positions. We've got the man advantage. We don't need to take the fight anymore. It's up to you, alternate, to really push us back into the ground. Of course, this is a 2-1 match, so the team winning this will go through to the next round. And going to be making their way towards this connector. 2 players on ramp. Could actually be caught out here. Push will be heard. Akers, if he goes down, things may become quite a bit more difficult, and he will turn around from the remaining players. The pick from Keto leaves it into a 3v3. Molotov will be holding out anybody from connector, but they don't expect a second player on ramp. Roman looking to tap away, but his spot is so valuable. Going down will be worth so much more to the T's. Now it's left onto Hunden, and Zevez will close it as well. 12-11. East side now, not really with the money to force into this one. They keep it close. 2 players surviving. They are actually going to risk it here. Risk it for a biscuit. Searson will save some extra cash, just so that in the future he will be able to afford an AWP, which has been a very valuable weapon for them. Now, I understand why the T's have gone for a force. Like, this is just based off the fact that NOREG don't have the money, so if they can keep them low, keep them in a horrible position, then they have a chance to actually break them. The problem is, they really have to do something incredible with what they've got. Zevez is going to be left completely blind. Has support from Froman, who will find the opener and the second, dropping the bomb. Keto will trade one back, but surely there's no hope for them in this round. Searson doesn't have any armor, still nearly wins the duel, but it isn't going to be enough. 3 players surviving. Now the CT side do have to take themselves that hit. Should now NOREG taking themselves the lead. Just a few pistols in this round. Bomb. Over towards the Palace position, looking like they're just going to go for a fast split in towards this A site. Hope to get a bomb plant, make some extra cash. Nice shot from Keto, though. Quickly traded out. Roman will pick up 2, and now things are going to be very difficult indeed. All they're really doing is trying to just create a distraction for Hunden, but it hasn't worked. Know exactly where he is. There will only be 1 player dropped. 13-12, lead taken from NOREG. I know what NOREG means. Oh, I'm pretty sure someone told me this before, but no, I have absolutely no idea. I have definitely been told before, but I cannot remember for the life of me. Fall by on either side. Plenty of utility and AWP for Searson as well. He'll be playing a bit more passive this time, and that's understandable with the amount of aggression. Oh, it's just Norway. Oh, okay. I suppose that could have been something I guessed. Okay, that's interesting. I suppose that makes an awful lot of sense, considering they have a full Norwegian team. Okay. I'm learning something every day. Always good. Searson looking to try and find the shots through the wall. Flashbang will give a slight chance to peek from Zevez, but not going to overface. A lot of utility already expended for the CT side. Being baited out. T's looking for this face in middle. Actually taking the bomb into mid, which is fairly risky. Not something I'm a huge fan of. We'll see if it works out for them. And Marcelius is actually going to be watching towards this spot. The peek out actually misses. That would have been the bomb dropped. And I'm really interested to see what's actually going to happen here. Because if they lose that bomb, this round is over. And I think it may be over anyway. The bomb is dropped in connector. Keto and Searson. Well, at least the Molotov will find a little bit more. Nice shot from Keto on the second. He's given Searson a chance here. And you wouldn't want anyone else in this situation peeking round. But he goes for the wall bang. Ends up being banged himself. 14-12. Now the decision has to be made from the T side. Do they risk it or do they just save? They're going for it. Again, they've kept the CT economy at least to a reasonable spot. There we go. Can the T's pull it back from the depths? Coming in. Croman does find one, but is quickly traded out. Stefan looking to see if there is further aggression, but nobody else will be around this corner. Croman for the peak. Gets tagged fairly low himself. And again, this bomb is alone in underpass. I'm really not a fan of this. It's such a risky place to take the bomb. If Stefan goes down, it becomes a retrieval mission from so many different angles, and there's so many places that he could lose this bomb. Which could be coming through. Akez gives the man advantage over, looks to switch, but doesn't realize how far out they are on the site. But there it is again! The bomb's going to be dropped once more, and Searson is just going to have to try and fight this back all alone. The bomb in such a horrific position. I'm pretty sure it can be spotted. Yeah, it can be spotted from short. Zevez, that pop flash is wonderful. Doesn't manage to actually get the kill, but they are burning the clock down and Searson will fall. I'm really not a fan of the bomb going towards connector. 15-12, NOREG on a streak of 6 rounds. We saw the same in the previous half as well. Really just streaking rounds together. Now they only need 1 round left. aTTaX. They're going to go back to basics. No more mid plays, no more aggression in that angle. It's just going to be a straight up smoke setup towards the A side of the map. Now we get to see all that extra utility thrown quickly. Kills just come in left, right, and center. Hunden will at least be able to trade one back again. The bomb's dropped in the open. Nafu looking to try and drop it. Bomb will be planted. Still utility to be expended. Searson has to make a play, and it's just not going to happen. Hunden, 1 versus 4, needs to go into God mode if he is going to save this, and he won't even get a first. NOREG will take this 16-12. Oh, guys, that is it for now. We will be back a little bit later to bring you some more Counter-Strike. We do know that there is going to be some Hellcase matches as well, which I'll be covering. Either way, thank you very much for watching. Congratulations to NOREG for getting through to the last round, but that's not it for aTTaX. They're going to be given another chance. We'll be back a little bit later.